Winnipeg Hockey Talk would like to welcome you to its live version of Random Thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets with host Harley and WinnipegHockeyTalk.com's owner and writer, Mitch.
Sorry for being late.
Welcome back to Winnipeg Hockey Talk. The Jets picked up a couple of big wins this week against some tough competition and managed to keep themselves right in the playoff conversation. With only a handful of games left in the season, every point is becoming more important and every decision feels a little more magnified. Let's take a look at what this past week has looked like for the Jets.
Well, I'll pop the standings up here, and the best news of all was we finally closed the gap from 5 to 3.
There we go.
And the better news is Nashville played last night against Tampa, and they lost in regulation. So we actually gained a game in hand. So,
nice.
Like I said, in theory, if we win that game in hand, we could only be 1 point behind. But like I say, you know, the old adage, I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to jinx us. But the team that concerns me right now, if you look at the standings, is look at San Jose. 71 games played. They have 3 games in hand on Nashville and 2 on us. And they're only a point behind us. And the cool note, it's funny.
What's that?
We play them at home the last game of the season.
Oh, wow.
What if it came down to that game? It could. But I was just checking the schedule yesterday because I want to see who plays who and whatever.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of games where they knock each other out, kind of, as long as they don't go to overtime.
Oh.
You don't want those 3-point games, right?
Yeah.
Because if you, I do believe when I was looking at the schedule, that Nashville kind of like they play San Jose twice, they play LA twice. All those teams that we're all juggling with.
Yeah.
We still have the toughest schedule because we have only 3 games left, and in theory, really 2 because the last home game is the last game of the season.
Yeah.
It may or may not be relevant, but it is against San Jose, so it could be interesting. So yes, there's going to be like my buddy Ben. He was bitching last night about. He goes. Oh, this scoreboard watching is exhausting, and I said, well, stop watching, because I didn't want to know when you guys were over for supper last night. The game was on.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to know the score, and he's updating me every 2 seconds. I'm going, oh man. But
oh, that's hard to.
But it's okay if it's going the right way. But if it's going the other way, I get pissed off. So I don't want to know. Don't ruin my night. But it is exhausting, and you know, obviously for the next 2 weeks, going to be watching the other town scoreboard every night.
True.
Yeah, it's like the old adage: take care of your own business. Everything else will sort itself out. But it's hard not to because you want all the right teams to win and lose. But yeah, so that's number 1 in the books. Now it's there's only 3 games last week, but they were huge because Vegas in 2 games against Colorado. And in my morning update, for those of you, I don't know if you've seen it or not, I said that we needed 2 wins this week, and when we lost to Colorado at home. Good game. We lost 3-2.
That's a close one.
Could have easily been in that game, but the power play went 0 for 4. So that's not good. But I mentioned in my little 2-minute short that can't write them off because I did say if they get 4 points. And I said it's still possible if they beat them in Colorado, which I didn't think was happening. And lo and behold, these guys, like I said, they're like cockroaches. You can't kill them. So, yeah, they kept themselves alive, which is good for us because it gives us something to talk about for another week.
Yep.
So, yeah, good for them. Gutsy effort. Harley was dialed in, and, yeah, the boys played good except for a couple of guys, and we'll talk about them later on.
We sure will. All right. Thought 1.
That was Thought 1, wasn't it?
Sort of. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, go on.
All right, well, the Winnipeg Jets went 2-1-0 this past week, as we just mentioned, with Vegas and a home versus Colorado on their dance card. Their record currently sits at 31-30-12. The boys are 3 points out of the playoffs with 9 games remaining in the regular season and still kicking at the cat, but they're running out of games.
Yeah, there's another old adage in there. Do you know what that means on the dance card?
I don't think I do.
It's a thing from 1800s Russia. I think it started in Germany and other places. It's like when there were social events that were mixed,
Okay.
Women would say, the guys would say, save me a dance, whatever. So she would physically mark the names on the card.
Oh my gosh.
And they would say,
I've never heard of that.
So a guy would come up and he'd say, "Can I have this dance?" And so she didn't. So she could just politely say, "I'm sorry, my dance card is full." It's a good way to reject the losers.
I guess
And,
so.
but yeah, that's. I mean, I come up with these things. I don't know why, but yeah. So the old adage is the dance card was. It was a tough one this week, and 4 to 6 points against Vegas and Colorado is pretty good. We're done with Colorado now. I just hope that they play some of the teams that we're trying to catch and they can knock them off. But yeah, it was a tough week, only 3 games, and not a lot of opportunity to make up points, but we did. So you never know how it's going to work. So good for the boys. It took forever to narrow it down to 3 because we were sitting at 5. I mean, we had all kinds of chances where we were losing games the same night Nashville would lose, or at that time it was Seattle that was in the spot, and they would lose, we'd lose. At least we weren't losing ground, and we didn't go from 5 to 7 to 9. I mean, we were at 11 at the Olympic break, and look at that. It's we've just gotten it down to 3, which is 8 points, and it took how long? Over a month. It's tough gaining points in this league down the stretch when everybody's buckled down and you get those damn 3-point games. So yeah, they've worked themselves into the conversation, and what they say they have left 9 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, game 73. Yeah, so who knows? It might work out, it might not. But like I said, at least we're still. What's the old saying? Kicking at the cat. Poor cat. That cat's taking a beating. Anyway, yeah.
On its last life.
Yeah, that's why they got 9 lives, right? They need all of them with everybody punting them around. Yeah.
All right. Thought 2. It took all year, but Adam Lowry looks like himself again. What's changed?
Well, hip surgery, right? And then you miss training camp.
Yeah.
So you start the season 3 weeks, even a month later. And even during the summer, these guys nowadays, they skate together. I know like Josh and Lowry and Scheif get together during the summer. They skate in Calgary, and Scheif has his guys out in Ontario. These guys are constantly together working out. And they work out with guys from other teams. And Lowry was basically the whole summer, he was rehabbing and that. So he fell way behind. And, at 33 years old, and we'll get to that later too. It's tough, And I thought the last little bit, I mean, let's face facts too. Adam's not a second line center. He'll do anything to help the team if he's put in that position. But I thought he's been skating well. He's even been handling the puck better. He's competing, and got a little bit of a scare last game when he left for the dressing room. And Sparky made a good comment to me. He texted me and he says, "Wow," he says, "I hope Lowry's not injured, but it'd be interesting to see. Like we're not very tough." And remember I kept on saying a couple of weeks ago, I don't want him to be the only guy fighting.
Yeah.
Or sticking up for the team. Like I think they're soft enough right now, and it'd be interesting to see what happens. Who steps up? And he came back into the game, so it was good news for everybody. But yeah, he looks like much like himself, one of the better number 3 centers in the league. He's playing a little bit above his pay grade, 2, but he's doing a decent job, and yeah, it's good to have him back.
Nice. Thought 3. Things that make me go,
A lot of those.
Yeah. The Jets are a tidy 9-4-4 since the Olympic break.
Yep.
That is points in 13 out of 17 games, and I can't help but wonder how this current roster, even with its flaws, would have done if they were together the whole season.
Yeah, I mean they've had a pretty tough schedule since the Olympic break. Let's say so 9-4-4. If you prorate that to a whole season, that puts them comfortably in the playoffs, right? Now, of course, this team isn't even the best team they can ice. Nino's out. They still have a couple guys that have surprised and stuck, and who knows if Solomonson will say at the start of the year how long it would have taken him to get his feet wet and get ready, but he's looked like a veteran the last little bit, and he's only been up for a quarter of the season. So the thought is if he was here for the whole year, how would they look back there? Even Lambert hasn't scored a lot, but just having his speed in the lineup, man, is he fast. He's got this is the guy. He's kind of like he has NHL speed and he also has NHL hands, unlike Cole Koepke. I like Koepke though. We're going to talk about him later too. I like speedy guys that hustle and hit. And Lambert, he surprised me. Like, I watched him with the Moose, but watching the AHL game, it's so different because it's kind of half a step slower. Lambert is physical. I don't even remember him being this physical when he played for Seattle in junior. I know a lot of young guys, when they get called up to the show, they want to impress their coaches and work hard, and it's a good way to do it. Be physical, get involved in the play, and I haven't had any problem with him whatsoever. And if he would have been here at the start of the year and played with some good line mates, I don't think you put a guy like that on the fourth line. I don't think that helps anybody. But I like the way he's been skating and hustling and playing physical, and not when he has to. When the puck is in the corner, he's not afraid to go get it and trade, as they say in the NASCAR, swap paint. He'll get in there and you ever heard that one? If you ain't swapping paint, yeah, they say because NASCAR they're always rubbing and bumping each other, swapping paint. So Lambert's not afraid to swap paint in the corners with the opposition, so that's a good sign. I'd like to see him score a little more, but yeah, we'll see what happens. This team right now is playing pretty good hockey, and they'd be a playoff team. And like I say, they're not even at their strongest and best right now. But yeah, interesting. And one of my thoughts again, I sat there and I get bored being retired.
Someone's commenting, "Go Habs, go!" And Line A in Winnipeg was something else. Now he just plays like an old man.
Oh yeah, I wonder who that is. Go Habs, go! Line A in Winnipeg. Yeah, could happen. It could happen. I should write that down. Yeah, go ahead. You can.
All right.
I'll type it in later.
On to thought 4. With his 2 goals on Thursday night, Mark Scheifele tied and passed his career high in points with 88 and still counting. Scheif has been very consistent since becoming the Jets' #1 center, basically a point per game player.
Yeah, I think his last 2 years he's been outstanding, and he's been pretty consistent. It's a far cry from those earlier years when he was Bambi. He was always falling down. Boy, he had spindly little legs.
Always falling down.
He's always falling down, yeah. But yeah, he's been kind of pretty consistently at a point per game or a little more. I think he had one season where he only had 60-something, but if you add up his points over the last 6 or 7 years and divided them, he'd be a point a game. And I mean, he's already, what did I say we had here, 88, and he's still not
88
9
and
games.
counting.
Yeah, if he has a good finish, he could hit 100 for the first time in his career. But yeah, it's he's been good. I hope it's not a wasted season. He needs a little help from KC. They play together. They want to play together, but KC has this habit of disappearing, and I was not happy with him the last little bit. But once again, we'll get into that.
In thought 5, you have a pet peeve. The Winnipeg Jets have this annoying habit of overpassing and not shooting when they get a grade A chance in the slot. I don't know why you would work that hard to get in that position and not take advantage of it.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's hard to get into the middle of the ice and get a clear shot, like right down Main Street.
Yeah.
They get there, and especially, I was mad at Adam Lowry, so I'm going like, dude, you're not a playmaker. When you get there, shoot the puck. I don't care if it's on your forehand or your backhand.
Just shoot.
Good things happen when you shoot it.
Yeah.
You score,
Yeah.
you get a rebound, you cause some havoc. That's when you score goals, when it gets scrambly. And he tried to make a pass. And I understand what he was trying to do, but dude, you ain't that guy, right?
Yeah.
Stop with that. And I'm talking to everybody. Guys like Scheif will do it. They'll overhandle just because they can.
Yeah.
Guys like Velarde with those silvery, slick, golden mitts he has does it. And it's annoying as hell because, and then you wonder why the analytics look bad because they pass up so many shots where other teams take those shots and they go, and their analytic numbers look good. Well, that's all it is. We've never been a high shot volume team. I just don't understand why. I guess what it is the goaltenders are so good that these guys think they got to make the perfect shot all the time.
Yeah.
Just shoot the puck, and if you have guys going to the net, banging the defenseman, you can draw penalties, you can get a rebound. Just guys, listen to me. Shoot the puck.
That's all only way you're gonna get it in.
Yep.
Thought 6. I would like to see a little more of Danny Zilkin
Yep.
down the stretch, but with NHL wingers, yeah, I've seen enough of Parker Ford to last me a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, like, you call the guy up and then you play him with his AHL teammate.
Right.
Like, Zilkin needs to play with NHL guys.
Yeah.
When he came up the first time, remember the old famous incident where he went to the barber and he got the phone call?
Oh, yes.
That was his first time. And he looked okay. He got a point, I think. And he looked like a guy that was coming up for the first time, a little nervous and everything. The last couple games, he's taking the puck. He's gone with it. He's a good skater. He's shooting it. I like him. I think, like once again, it's easy to fall in love with prospects, right? You got to see him play the whole year. But I just like the way that he moves the puck, and he just looks, second time up. It was like when Solomonson came up for his second time. He just looked a lot more comfortable. Zilkin looked a lot more comfortable. So, yeah, I'd like to see more of him. I'd like to see him play with some better wingers and see what happens. But, it just he caught my eye, and I jotted it down, and I went, I talked about him. And I'm going to keep my eye on him a little bit more in the next couple of games. And he's not getting a ton of ice time. I have to admit, in the first game against Colorado, maybe it was the Thursday night game, his line got overwhelmed. But they got matched up with Jared Bednar, the coach of Colorado, was smart. He's seen it. He threw McKinnon and the guys on the ice. That's a pretty big test. You're playing in the AHL all year, and all of a sudden you're against Marty Nietzsche and Nathan McKinnon and their top line. And they got swallowed up. And they didn't give up a goal, but they got swallowed up in their own end for quite a while. I mean, and that happens to the best lines and the best players. So that must have been quite an experience for the young guys. Danell or Danny, as they call him in the minors. Yeah. So let's keep an eye on him. I know Sparky likes him.
Oh yeah.
Sparky went to the game the other night against the Moose game, and he said, "Man, Zilkin's fast." And
he's commenting this exactly as you talk about it.
Yeah, Sparky's on the line comments here saying, "55 doesn't need any one of those two." Yeah. And then I went to see the Moose game one day. He said Zilkin was the only one that stood out. 80% chance he never sees it. No, Spark, I'm going to tell you, he'll go down just because he can. But let's just say this. When you finish the year with the team, it'd be different if he was finishing the year with the team and this was the team. But there's guys like Nemestikov and Nina Ryder that are injured. And no matter how you feel about them, they still are veterans. And they kind of get the nod, like head coaches like those guys. But but I think Danny Zilkin's going to have a legitimate shot next year. Now, where does he slot in? That's the thing. How many number 3 or number 4 centers do you need? The problem with this team is we've always had great depth in the third and fourth lines. We need some depth in the first and second lines. That's how you become a championship team. But, that's why a lot of these guys end up playing on the wing. So, we'll see. And we'll be talking about that later, too. I got thoughts today, man. I was thinking this week.
All right. Thought 7. If the Jets' intentions concerning Ville Heinola weren't completely clear before, the writing must certainly be on the wall now.
Yeah, what the Jets did, they've done him a favor. And they've, I guess, I'm not even sure if he's with the big team or if they've sent him back. I think he's still up. I think he's one of the scratches every night, but at least he's getting the NHL money. That might be his reward for the end of the season, I guess, to get paid NHL dollars. But, I mean, even with the injuries and the guys traded, he still can't get in the lineup. Even the other night, they took Hayden Fleury out and they put Bryson in. So that goes to show he's behind Bryson. And what I think about Bryson. Bryson's okay. I mean, but he's another Smurf. We don't need no more Smurfs. And that's the thing with Parker Ford. I mean, I was knocking him. I've seen enough of him. He's a center. He's definitely going to be a center here. He's 5'9". We don't need any more small forwards. We need some of the guys we have like Walton and that some of the bigger wingers up here. We can't. The league, it's too hard. Playoffs are too much of a grind, and it's tough on the road. And if you notice, just even the last road trip and a couple of the one game in Colorado the other night, boy, we get swallowed up by their bigger players. And our team's not small, but in comparison to a lot of other teams, we're soft and smaller, and it's tough. And that's why I give our guys so much credit for that game on Saturday night, man. Holy shit, they had a lot of fight in them, and good for them. They deserved that win, and they got it. Yeah.
Well, in Thought 8, you have a question for Scott Arneal. With the way your power play is struggling, have you even considered switching the personnel around instead of watching the same shit show every night?
Same shit show, yeah. Well, isn't it the same? It's just, it's so embarrassing. They can't get the puck in the zone. How are you supposed to get the puck into an 8-foot or 6-foot wide net if you can't get it across a 60-foot line? What's the old saying, Einstein? The definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, just shake somebody up, man. Have some creativity. My God, 0 for 4, and I mean, it'd be different if it was 0 for 4 and they were hitting goalposts and the other goalie was standing on his head. But God, they can't even get the puck in the zone. So yeah, they need. Last year it was the same guys and they were good, but there's other good coaches, better coaches than you in the league, and they adapt, right?
Yeah.
They say, watch us, they're going to do this and this, and they just read it. It was like they're looking at our playbook. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, Sparky, I agree with that, and Ben too. Heinola is officially toast, it appears. Yeah, like I said in the article, it's more than it appears. If it's not, if it's the writing's not on the wall, no, it never will. It will be, but yeah, he's done.
Well, on to Thought 9 then. Another thing that really just makes you go,
Yeah, I did a lot of imagining and wandering this
Yeah.
week. I was very, very, what was the word I want to look for? Insightful? I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I was doing a lot of reflection.
There's a lot going on up there.
Reflections, yeah.
There you go. I wonder what Kyle Connor could fetch on the trade market, or is he considered persona non grata
Yeah.
after 2 uninspired international events and or an 8-year, $96 million contract that starts next season?
Well, there's lots to scare off other teams if you put him out there.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, like, I was pissed off at him because, and you'll see it in one of my number 15. I put one of my tweets. I tweeted it during the game. Even though they won the game, he did get the empty netter. He's good at that. But man, you can't be disappearing in these games down the stretch, and he does that an awful lot. And right now he's next year he starts his new contract and 8 years of it at 12 mil. That puts him as the highest paid player. Like Scheif only makes 7 or 8, and when there's a disparity like that between the two players, and he relies on Scheifele. Like Scheifele is his bread and butter.
Yeah.
He's proved that. Like when I said 2 failed or international events in last year's Four Nations Cup and in the Olympics. I mean, God, the guy's not even playing, getting dressed, not bench, but not just healthy scratch. You're not even playing, and we appreciate him in Winnipeg because we know he can score. But we appreciate him in Winnipeg because he's playing with Scheifele.
Yes, yeah.
It looks like he can't play with anybody else. Scheifele can. Scheifele can play with anybody. And maybe Scheifele's part to blame because he loves KC, as evidenced by his Gordie Howe hat trick this week when that guy went after KC and he jumped him right away. He didn't even think twice. He went in there. Scheif shouldn't be fighting. What if he throws an uppercut on a guy and catches his visor and all of a sudden now you're out for 8 weeks?
Yeah.
But that's what teammates do. And he said KC's my guy. Mm-hmm. And I respect that, but also you gotta pick your battles, and I guess it does show the team shows the other teammates this is what you got to do if you want to be a winner, and so I'm down on Casey again. I mean, he's never been my favorite guy. I love when he scores. He's my favorite guy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
And what did I say in the article? Oh, it's coming up later. But the thing is with him, he doesn't take nights off. He just has a different style of game, and I've watched him lately, and even in that game, I saw some good hustle on the back check and trying to be defensive. But sometimes when the game gets a little bit to a grind, he's not that good in the corners, and I'm just thinking, throw him out in the market. Just see what would happen. Who would want this $12 million guy that said 2 failed international events. And no, and we're not paying him to be good internationally. He's good for the Jets. He's actually even better than good. He's just not great every night. And the thing is, they say you need your leaders and your best players to be your best players at crunch time. And there hasn't been a lot of crunching lately. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. I just wish. I mean, how much more fucking money you got to get paid? $12 million to be consistent.
Oh my gosh.
And did you catch what I said? Did you understand my little, once again, another adage in persona non grata? You know what that means? Take a guess.
I don't know. It's reminding me of like frat house names.
Oh
like
yeah,
Alpha.
persona non grata. It sounds like animals. No, all it's just a basic thing, and all it really means is unwelcome.
Oh.
Yeah. So, right. and I could have just said that.
Kind of like a frat house, unwelcome.
Instead of being a smart ass, I could have just said, yeah, he's or would he be unwelcome? Yeah, persona non grata.
You'll always learn something here, folks. If it's not hockey.
Well, I tell you, it's just not a hockey show. It's a little bit of English too. Anybody talks about English, it's me. I'm the worst, but whatever. I like songs, old sayings. Well, to me, they're not even old sayings. They're just sayings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, the chat and the live chat is just, Ben's just and Sparky are just going.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that one. Liney in Winnipeg, he says, now he just plays like an old man. Yeah, true. Well, we'll see what happens next year. Yeah. That was what, 9?
Yeah, now we're on to thought 10, another thing that makes you go,
Boy, you got a lot of those, like I said. Number 3, right?
Yeah, number 3 of the The Jets have been looking for a 2C for what seems like a decade now, and they drafted Cole Perfetti as a center, but have not given him an opportunity to give it a try. Perfetti isn't the biggest guy, and he isn't the fastest guy, but he has great vision, good hockey sense, and he is a very good passer. All the things that make a center. It's just a thought, what am I missing here?
Yeah, it was, once again, I was reflecting and going like, I mean, a bit of an exaggeration. They haven't been looking for a decade. It seems like it. Yeah. Their last real good second-line center was, Brian Little, who was our number one center until Shifley kind of took over the reins. So we had a nice 1-2 there. You know, Shifley, Brian Little's a nice 1-2 center combo, and then Adam Lowry at 3. And they've traded for guys. They've tried, and then I know they drafted. They drafted Perfetti as the center, and they got him on the wing. Like I say, he's not the fastest guy, but Ben doesn't like him. Ben thinks he's a smurf. Right, Ben? But one thing, you watch Perfetti, he grows on you, because when they have those little things in the corner, he's got this little quick stick, or he's just tricky with it, and he often comes out of the those scrums in the corner with the puck. And I go, wow. And when he gets it, he makes a nice play with it, because he's a great passer of the puck. And yes, when you're a center, you have defensive responsibility. You got to play 200 feet from crease to crease, because you got to come back and pick up the guy in front. And that's in the old style. Depends what kind of zone or what kind of defense you're playing. True. But he's capable of doing it, and it gets him off the wall. Because in his first couple of seasons, he was getting sandpapered all the time on the wall. He's getting splat, and he was getting injured. Keep him at center ice. It keeps him away from the wall. Now, eventually, everybody has to get into the corners and along the wall. But the way he passes the puck, give him 2 NHL wingers and let him go and see what happens. I mean, God damn it. Am I the only one who thinks of this stuff? Fuck, Chevy, you're the GM and Arneal. Have you tried him? Yeah. They tried him probably 3 years ago. No, he's not this. You drafted him as a center. He's a center. Play him at center. See what happens. Maybe you don't have to go out and blow the bank to get a center this offseason, although I wish you would. But Cole Perfetti's not a winger. He's a good, smart hockey player that's adapted to the wing. And like all hockey players, you gotta be able to play different positions. We've talked about this. And, I mean, you can only have 4 centers on a team, and usually you draft 8, and a lot of guys end up on the wing. But, I mean, don't sit there and lament the fact that you've been looking for a second-line center forever when you got one sitting right there playing the wing. Give him a shot. And when I say give him a shot, I'm not talking about practice. Give him 10, 15, 20 games on a line. I mean, fuck, you gave Nyquist the whole season, he still got only 1 goal. So that's what just, it frustrates me and pisses me off about this organization. They just don't fucking think outside the box. And a lot of people are getting sour with the way they handle their rosters because I'll give you an example. Like Vegas just fired Bruce Cassidy, their head coach, with like 10 games left. Fuck, they're in third place in the Pacific Division, and they fired him. And we sit here with the same shit show game in and game out, and these guys don't make a fucking move.
Yeah.
They're afraid to rock the boat. Mm-hmm. My God, it's hockey, guys. It's not fucking brain surgery. If you make a wrong decision, it's not going to cost you a life. Try something, guys. You know, try something for once. Or let's keep on running up the same power play with the same system and, yeah, whatever. See, there we go. I'm not going to call it a rant, but man, am I on the verge from flipping out. Anyway,
hey,
we'll move on. We will move on. For the good of the children up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, in Thought 11 and 12, we take a look at special teams and goaltending stats. Do you have those to show everybody?
Yeah, I know. I just look at the Sparky and he goes, what did he say? He said Perfetti needs some Brad Marchand in his game. Well, you know, in fairness, Spark, Marchand wasn't Marchand his first couple of years either. What am I looking at? Power play and that? Yeah, nothing much to see here. I'll pop them up though. Hey, there we are. We're picture in picture. Yeah, look at the power play. Oh boy, 27th. Isn't that wonderful?
Wow. Out of
just
what?
keeps
28?
on like this. It just wait a second. Here, down, down every week. The PK is sitting at a solid 22nd too. It was kind of funny. We brought in new special teams coaches a couple of years ago, and both of them improved drastically. Maybe our players are stupid. Maybe they didn't have the retention span. Got the retention span of a sand flea. It lasts about a year, and then it's gone. Like how can you learn this stuff? And then I mean, power play's different because it could be a little different. But penalty killing is penalty killing, dudes. Yeah. I mean, come on, let's get it together. So the stats aren't good. Hellebuck 899. Comrie hasn't played. Goals against average is kind of okay, but these aren't healthy numbers. But I mean, a lot of it's skewed from when they were not playing so great. He hasn't been as consistent. He's still been pretty decent though. So, yeah, nothing much to see in the stats. So we'll move on. They're the same every week. If you're just wondering how they are, just assume they're going down.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, Thought 13.
The good,
the bad,
and the ugly. I wasn't pointing at Phyllis, I was pointing at Mickey.
All right. As always, let's start off with some good.
Yep.
The determination of Connor Hellebuck in all 3 games last week.
Yeah, I thought he battled. He was... If you watch Connor Hellebuck, and for those of us that have watched him over the years, he plays his best hockey when he just looks big and he's calm in the net. He likes to play deep in his net on the goal line, and his success is to even when he can't see the puck, he shuts down the bottom of the net where most of the pucks end up, and that's why he's been so great. Lately, he's been a little bit all over the place. He's been a little bit like Dominic Hasek. He's flipping around and he's in the crease getting bumped and stuff. And I think it's just because he's just so zeroed in and zoned in and trying to win everything by himself. And he's just been ultra competitive. But I was quite impressed with his battle the whole week. He battled hard. You could see that. He's taking this seriously and he wants to win every game. So I thought kudos on you, Helly. It's not your traditional way to play a goal, but you're getting it done and he's battling hard. So he's showing he cares.
Yeah.
And I wish that would rub off on everybody.
Yeah.
And it does for the most part. The team. It seems like I'm always aiming that at a couple of guys, and I kind of am. But I mean, yeah, Helly's a battler. That's for sure.
Some bad. In a 3-2 loss to Colorado, where the power play could have been a difference maker, it went 0-4.
Yeah. I mean, you need one goal, right?
One goal.
One goal, and then you're into overtime with another point. You never know what happens. And I'm going to say special teams have failed them. And when I say special teams, I may be more so pointing towards the power play, but I'm going to put the stats back up for a second. You see at the top here, have the rule of thumb. It says have the power play and the penalty kill numbers. If you add them up, and if they reach 100%, you're probably in the middle ground of the league, and that is usually good enough to be acceptable. Well, I mean, 78 and 17 is what, 95? That's not good.
Yeah.
You know, they're 5 points below the Mendoza line, whatever you want to call it. So, but that right there, just the proof's in the pudding right there, right? They can't even get it to 100%.
Yep.
And a lot of times too, some teams might have a good power play and shitty penalty killing and vice versa. Having a bad power play is more frustrating, but then having bad penalty killing, and every time you get a penalty, then you're fishing it out of your net. That's no good either. It's better to have them both be good. But
Yeah.
if I had my choice, I like power plays. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's the bad, and moving on to the ugly.
The ugly. The Jets' zone entry on the power play are, you can guess it, ugly.
They're not even ugly. They're fugly. And it's hard to watch at times. Everybody knows what they're trying to do. When it works, it looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how they do that thing? They wind up and they skate hard, and then they drop it to the guy behind him, and then he drops it to the guy behind him. So Morrissey's usually the first guy to touch the puck. He'll go behind it, wind it up. Instead of dropping it, they should do a fake drop and then just dump it in and have your wingers going hard while you got momentum. I know that's the new thing now. We can't dump it in. We're giving up possession. But those defensemen are all stacking the blue line, standing there. There's 4 players going across the blue line. All you gotta do is flip it over their heads or flip it between them, and you got 2 or 3 guys with full momentum going. Like, I'm not saying you do it every time, but change it up, guys. I mean, show a fucking iota of some creativity. But I'm not gonna belabor it because it's frustrating as shit. I mean, the fans just hate it. We all hate it. And you know, when you're down a goal, and you're watching it, and you're just going, "Come on, guys, we just need." I'm going like, "Oh, good, we got a power play." And then I go, "Oh, big fucking deal."
Yeah,
you know. Anyway,
nothing.
and you hope that maybe this time they'll get it right, and it doesn't. But when they score, it looks nice. Anyway, so I'll just leave it at that. The chat boys are oh boy. Oh yeah. Well, at least they're. Hey, you guys keep yourself entertained. We'll check in later. Anyway, next.
Yes, thought 14 tidbits and FYIs.
Oh, yeah.
Starting off with Mark Scheifele is now the Jets' all-time games played leader at 951, passing Thomas Steen.
This guy, right here,
Take a look
right
on
behind
the wall.
Harley's head.
Yes.
There he is, the
Oops,
assistant
I'm moving
captain,
the wrong
Thomas
way.
Steen. What a funny, he was a number 2 center.
Oh no, I keep moving the wrong
That
way.
back in
There we
those
go.
days, scoring was a lot higher, but he was a number 2 center that was a point of game. He was such a good player, and he was a gem defensively. He was as good as Lowry defensively, and he was as good as a lot of other top 6 forwards in the league. Like, I mean, he'd have 85, 90 points. He could score, he could pass the puck, and Thomas Steen. So Scheif has passed him, and that's one of the things Scheif did when he signed. He says, I want to be one of those guys like Steve Yzerman, you know, where I play my whole career with one team, and this is what happens when you stick around. You'll end up at the most games, the most goals, you know, most assists, and eventually he's going to hold all the records. But good for him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
On Tuesday night versus Vegas, Mark Scheifele had his 4th Gordie Howe hat trick.
Gordie Howe? Never
Never
heard of Gordie Howe?
that. Sorry, people. Gordie Howe. Hat
Yeah. The funny thing about it is, and I think I mentioned this before on the show, or maybe one of my articles a couple of years ago, that they call it the Gordie Howe hat trick, which is a fight, a goal, and an assist in a game. The Gordie Howe hat trick, right?
Oh, okay.
And here's the funny thing: Gordie Howe only had 1.
Oh.
I think Jerome McGinley had like 9.
Oh, wow.
This is Scheif's 4th. So yeah, I thought it's one of those another. And once again, here he is, the Cliff Clavin of hockey stuff. Just more useless information, but it's amazing what gets stuck in this.
Yeah,
this
what
noodle here.
sticks.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Sunday, Captain Adam Lowry turned 33 years young.
Yeah, who would have known? And he looked young the other day, so good for him. He's healthy. I still hate his contract. He's going to be earning that money till he's 37.
Yeah.
He might be burnt out by then, but yeah, happy birthday, Adam.
Cole Perfetti scored his 4th GWG Saturday versus Colorado. Not bad for a guy with only 11 goals.
Yeah, you know what? That's the worth of a player, right? You score 11 goals. I mean, keep in mind that he's like Lowry. He started the year late, missed a lot of camp and stuff. And to have 4 game-winning goals out of, what did I say, 11?
Yeah.
That's more than 25% of his goals have been ultra important. He's also the guy that scored the goal with 1.2 seconds left in the playoff game last year. So he seems to be around the net at those important times. But Perfetti's funny. He can irritate you sometimes because he's a young man. He's in today's game, he would be considered just an average skater. Oh, no, he's actually a good skater with just average speed. So, yeah, but I still think he can play center. That's another story that we've already covered, but I'm not going to belabor the point. But yeah, good for you, Perf. That's 4 goals out of 11 is pretty good.
Gabe Velarde's 28th goal of the season on Saturday is a career high, and he has 9 more games to add to it.
Yeah, Gabe's been healthy this year. He's such a good player. I just loved that trade when they got him from LA, and we came out of that one pretty darn good. He's slowly becoming one of my favorites. I just love watching him handle the puck. He's got silky hands, man. They're just he's a joy to watch. He's 6'3". He tries to play a big game, but he's a 6'3". He's lanky, right? He's not. He's still young. He'll bulk up yet, but he's 6'3", and he can get rattled around in the corners pretty good. But he's one of those guys that he's in there with his stick and he's trying to dig pucks out. He doesn't use like I said. He's I used to have this thing a few years back. I used to say, well, the Jets are tall, but they weren't heavy and they didn't play tough, but they were tall, and that's kind of what Gabe is. He's tall. I don't think his game is ever going to evolve into a power forward type of game, but he's kind of like a power forward light, we'll say. He's not a Tom Wilson. He's not a Cam Neely. He's none of those guys. But I like Gabe. He's one of my faves. He might be number 2 behind Shea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's up there.
That's pretty good, yeah.
On to Thought 15. Winnipeg Hockey Talk on X. You have a couple comments from the 2 games versus Colorado.
Well, as you see, I got them marked Thursday and Saturday. Well, the top one's Thursday, and I was really pissed off.
Yeah.
I said, and this got me because the TV. It was, who was it? What was our guys? It was, and they said. They said something about Solomon's mistake on the goal, and it was fuck. I just went, yeah. How did that puck get there? Josh Morrissey had the puck in the corner with time and space, and he tried this stupid pass up the wall that got knocked down, and before you know, 2 seconds later, the puck was in our net.
Yeah.
And the announcers, I said, maybe the TV guys should mention the Josh Morrissey turnover before critiquing Elias Solomon's small error. And I said, for some reason, they really pissed me off. It did. It triggered me because I'm going like, and don't get me wrong, I love Josh. He's a great player, but he's had a lot of shit games lately. But the thing with Josh is, he rarely makes mistakes, and he always plays great, right? And he's played a lot of great hockey, but he's made a lot of bonehead bad plays ever since he's come back from the injury from the Olympics. He's been good. He hasn't been great, but so many people get locked into that. You can't criticize a guy like him. He's too important, too great. Guys, let's be real. Nobody is above criticism, constructive criticism, and all criticism is not hateful. Just pointing it out isn't a criticism. It's just saying, yeah, I guess. I mean, you've heard them say when a goalie lets in a bad goal, they'd say something like, "Oh boy, I bet you he wants that one back." I bet that Josh has wanted back about 20 passes he's made in the last month. He's. I think I said in one of my articles in the last couple of weeks. He said maybe it's because he's playing with DeMello, is rubbing off on him.
Oh gosh.
But no, it's true. Josh hasn't been perfect.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't blame the kid for a goal that is basically Josh's fault. And then the game on Saturday, they won it, thank goodness. And I said, it's games like this that make me despise KC. $12 million for his constant disappearing act. Mm-hmm. I said, yes, he can score, but still not enough to make up for his frequent no-shows. And there's been guys through the course of hockey history that have been, let's just say, dog fuckers. They've just been lazy. They don't back check. They goal suck. They sit at center ice. All they care about is points. Casey's not like that. And I'm not even saying that because the game has evolved. You can't get away with that stuff in today's hockey because no matter who you were, you wouldn't be able to play. Casey tries to be a better defensive player, and he's a lot better than he used to be, but he's far from perfect. And the thing is, back in those days, like when you're Gretzky or Lemieux or some of those guys that were putting up those, video game numbers, because it was ridiculous how good they were. You can get away with being a little lazy. Like right now, I think KC's at around 32 goals. If that was 52, you could forgive a lot of his misgivings, right? Yep. But he's not scoring enough to. What's that old adage I always use? He's not really outscoring his deficiencies. His scoring is what it should be, kind of based on his skill set and playing with number one center. I would even dare say that. Fuck, a guy like Cole Caulfield in Montreal's got 40-something goals. He's only in his third year.
Wow.
Casey's been around a while. He's been with Scheifele his whole career, and he hasn't put up a 50-goal season yet. I mean, if there's anybody on the Jets team that should put up 50, it could be Casey. And here's the thing that I find funny about it too is, if Scheifele wasn't such a good passer of the puck, and if he didn't share the puck like he does, and if he was a little more selfish and shot the puck more like he should, because he's got a terrific shot, Scheifele could be a 50-goal scorer. But he likes to dish the puck to Casey. He takes great enjoyment. These guys, they do feed off each other. There's no question about it. But next year he's making 12, and I don't see $12 million of value out of him, and that's why I just threw out the question about, what do you think you could demand on the trade market? I think he's stuck here because I don't think anybody's taking that contract. It's gonna turn out to be, like, you got 8 years left. You think I'm pissed off now? You wait till about 3 years from now when he's making $12 million and doing fuck all. Oh, I'm going to be livid. They'll be looking at buying out that contract.
Gosh.
Anyway, yeah. No. Enough said, Mitchie. But that wasn't even a rant. That's mild. You should see me when I really flip up. But and here's the thing. I don't like Casey. I want Casey to be good because it's enjoyable to watch him and Scheif play together. But, I mean, he's basically riding on Scheifele's coattails, and he got paid $12 million for it. And I just think it's. I guess they didn't have any choice. You can't lose him for nothing. They weren't going to trade him. You probably wouldn't get the value for it. So we're stuck overpaying him, which is that's how it goes in sports nowadays.
Sparky said Connor is making $16.5 million, not 12.
Well. Yeah, I don't. His pro rate. No, wait a second. I think you're wrong, Spark. Go check on the salaries. His AAV is $12 million a year, and I think if you look at the chart, every year he's making 12. Sometimes they front load it, and they'll give the guy more money in the early years and less money at the end. But I think if you check,
12 is U.S.
It is U.S. All salaries are in U.S. So yeah, we'll later on I'll confirm that. And Connor's.
I'm sure he's looking it up right now.
Connor's making 16.5 million Canadian, but it's 12 million US. As a matter of fact, I looked it up the other day. And he's 12 million across the board for the next 8 years. That's a lot of coin. Based on what the salary cap is going to be, and based on what other teams are paying their top stars, that money's probably in line with the other guys of his ability. But I'm of that belief that you don't pay a fucking guy based on 35 goals when he's the best player on a team that can't make the playoffs. That's money poorly spent. And it's those contracts are the ones that kill your franchises. But Yeah, enough of that. He's riding the Sykes coattails. There's no doubt about it.
Well, that's this week's random thoughts. Now we move on to some questions we got sent in.
Yes, we had a whole bunch.
We do. The first one we're gonna look at is from Ben. Would you agree from playing some of these young prospects and adding speed and a much needed youth jolt is better in our bottom six rather than old end of career guys like Pearson and Nyquist, especially the success we've had in terms of record since they have just.
Yeah, we have talked about this, me and Ben, and like I said, to me that's a case of retrospective analysis. You know, if we knew then what we know now, absolutely, Ben, you're right. But the thing is, at that time, I understand. I'm on record as saying, and you can look at my articles, and this was in the preseason. I called Gus Nyquist a waste of skin. I said, why are you signing a 35-year-old forward? I know why they did, because you know what they're thinking? If they get any semblance of what he's been career-wise, they're thinking they're getting 50 points out of him. He's playing on the second line. At that time, he was going to be a second liner with Taves and that, and the same thing with Pearson. Tanner Pearson played with Scheif before. He's always been a useful guy, and especially come playoff time. He's a guy that's good down low. He's physical. He can grind in the corners, and those are the type of guys you need in the playoffs. Well, if you're not making the playoffs, you're not. Put it this way: we didn't sign Pearson for his regular season points. We signed him probably for depth playoff, and we didn't sign Nyquist to score one goal. So, like I say, if we knew now, then what we knew now, of course we would go with the young guys.
Yeah.
So I have to disagree and agree. Yeah, sure. Looking at it now, it looks good, or it looks like that's the way we should have gone. But who knew, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, we didn't have a crystal ball.
Yep.
Anyway, Ben, that's my thought. And I know you agree to a point with that, so we'll move on.
On to question 2 from Sparky. Do you notice that Hellebuck is arguing with the referees more on non-called penalties, possible penalties due to frustration with his performance or the team's performance?
Well, and that was a little bit part and parcel what I talked about earlier. He's just competing so hard right now, and he's putting himself in places where you don't really see him. He's a little bit out of the net way too much now.
Oh.
I got to get that shock collar out of storage because he needs a good couple buzzing. But yeah, he's been more on the top of the crease. He's been jostled and bumped around, and he doesn't like it. And none of the goalies do. And they're like, "Where's the goaltender interference and this and that?" And he's been beaten about it quite a bit more. So yeah, I get it, and it just shows he's engaged and competitive, but. He's not quiet Helly right now. He's competitive as hell Helly right now. So yeah, that's how I see it anyway, Gary. Or Sparky. Yeah.
He says Taves needs skilled wingers to be effective as long as they don't watch Taves with the puck.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
You look back. I wonder how the guy behind me, right, this guy right here, this number 27 guy. I wonder how he would have been with Taves, and we'll say on the other side maybe Perfetti.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you don't know, right? But I watched on that game-winning goal the other night. I see it because I'm not looking for it, but that goal was scored because of Taves. He did great work behind the net. Like he outworked and out-physicaled the two guys that were there, and he got the puck loose. And then I think. Gabe Velarde threw it back to the point, and Bryson took the shot, and Perfetti tipped it, and before you know it, we're up 3-2, and we're going, oh boy, 5 minutes left, and it was like, gripping the steering wheel, and but yeah, it was big, it was a huge play.
From Andy, why did Vegas fire their coach with only 12 games left in the season?
We've seen this once before. I think it was the New Jersey Devils fired their head coach, and they brought in Larry Robinson, and it was just before the playoffs were going to start, and I believe he took him to the Cup or the finals, I'm not sure, but to me that firing had to be, I was going to read an article about today, something happened dressing room wise, or I'm not sure, but definitely it would be because of expectations, and I don't have their standings on here. because I just have the wild card stuff. But I mean, they're in third place in the Pacific, but they're only 2 or 3 points out of being in the wild card chase too. So they could get caught, and like I said, their organization's not going to screw around. They're in their mind they've underachieved, right? So they figure we got to nip this in the bud because they traded for all these guys at the deadline, the playoff proven guys, and they want to go on a deep run, and they're fiddling around third place in the Pacific. They should be walking away with that division, them and the Oilers, Edmonton, and they're not. So, I mean, other teams have expectations, and when they're not met, they don't give a shit. They fire guys. I wonder what the expectations of Winnipeg were this year after having a President's Trophy team, and they're diddling around in 4 or 5 points out of the playoffs, and they still got Arneal. They'll probably give them a fucking extension
Riddle
next year.
us that.
So that there right there, Andy, is it's all based on expectations. So yeah.
Yeah. This question's from Ben,
Yeah.
and it's actually for me.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
He says, I'm confused. A buddy of mine from Medicine Hat has a girl that plays ringette, and I watched her play with him in Lethbridge this past weekend. A girl was racing along the walls with the ring and entered the blue line, and it got blown down, and they lost possession of the ring. WTF. Harley, help me. I had no clue, and I didn't bother to ask the guy and look like I was stupid. Well, don't worry, because if you grew up on hockey, that whistle will probably feel a little random. But what you saw was a classic blue line violation. In ringette, there is one golden rule. You're strictly forbidden from carrying the ring across either blue line. To get into the next zone, that ring has to be passed over the line to someone else, one of your teammates. You can't just stick handle it and across the blue line yourself.
Yeah, you can't go end to end, right?
Yes.
Can't do the big Bobby Orr rush.
Yeah, so what likely happened in that game was the player couldn't or didn't let go of the ring in time. And the second that ring is on your stick while you cross that line, the ref is going to blow it down and immediately award a free pass to the other team. So people always ask why this rule exists, and it's actually the secret to why ringette is so fast. It forces every player to use their teammates instead of just having one person hog the ring and skate it the entire length of the ice. So it turns the whole thing into like a high-speed passing game. So there you go. You got to pass at every blue line, and now you can be the one to tell people when they don't know. Thanks for the question. Woo, some ringette shout outs. Thanks for your question, Ben.
There you go.
It's cool.
Okay.
It's cool that you're watching some ringette there.
Yep.
On to the next. Oh, we have a comment from Sparky. Great goal by Kepke. They need to sign him and not just based on that goal.
Oh yeah, I love that goal he scored against Colorado because I always say he has AHL hands, but man, is he fast. And kind of like the Red Sea parted, and he just saw it open down the middle, and he took it. You don't see guys very often go to the middle with straight speed. They try to go wide.
That's true.
He went right down the pipe, and he kind of fumbled the puck in front of the goal, but they scored. And it was I like Kepke because he's big, not big, he's 6'2" or somewhere around there, but he skates hard and he plays a physical, grinding game. I like him. I really like him. I hope he's going to be a cheap re-signing. He's not going to get a big raise or anything, and he'll come back. I'd like to see him maybe get a 2-year deal at least or something, but yeah, whatever.
And our last question from Ben. Don't you find it a waste of time to mark a guy in the defensive zone and not tie up his stick? If you're not boxing a guy out or tying up his stick, you may as well stand in the corner. How many deflected shots have been winding up in our net in the last few weeks? Majority of our goals against were exactly those deflected shots from the point.
And it's funny because I did comment on this about 2 weeks ago. I go, man, guys, and I even, I think I can't remember who I referenced. It might have been DeMello. But in the Saturday night game, Brock Nelson, DeMello had him tied up. He had him tied up, and then he let him go for 1 second because DeMello was lifting his stick. And then I can't remember who was on the point. It might have been Kadri. They were on the power play, and he threw that crossing pass right to Nelson, and Brock Nelson deflected it in the top corner, and DeMello just threw up his hands. He knew that he screwed up.
Yeah.
And it seems to happen quite a bit with him. It's hard when bigger guys can outmuscle. But the thing about that game too, Ben, is it's frustrating as hell because we always say this. It seems like that's the only way you can beat Hellebuck. I bet you in the last 20 goals he's given up, 17 have been deflections and 3 of them have been shots. The funny thing about that game, guys, go back and watch the replay. The score was 3-2 when Perfetti scored. So that means what? There was 5 goals in the game, and 4 of them, 2 for the Jets and 2 for Colorado, were all tip-ins. That's how competitive and how tight that game was. So it's not just we notice it because it's us.
Yeah.
But it's not just us. It's that time of the year when we're the big slap shot out the net's not going to beat anybody. So a smart defenseman will work the blue line and float one in there, and hope a guy gets a stick on it. And that seems like nowadays that's kind of like the only way you can beat a guy. But like I said, Perfetti and Velarde, both their goals were deflections to beat Blackwood. So yeah, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, I guess. But there's the funny one that got me was in the Saturday night game when Perfetti scored on that deflection. They had a side angle camera shot, and I could see the fan straight across at ice level. As soon as the puck went in, he went, ah! You know, because he could see it coming, and it hit it. And it was funny because if you've seen the replay in slow motion, the puck was about, let's say, 4 feet off the ice when Perfetti hit it, and it went straight down and bounced up into the top corner of the net. It was almost like a lacrosse goal. But, these guys are so good, the hand-eye coordination. It's always funny, like, you see those deflections, you don't see, well, you never seem to notice them when they get saved.
Yeah.
And they do get saved occasionally or at times. But a lot of times they sift in and the goaltender just blockers it out or catches it.
True.
But when they do catch it, boy, it the guy's just leaning one way or the other and the deflection goes the other way again. It's just frustrating as hell. And I know if I was a goalie, I'd be chopping that guy's ankles. No, but the Brock Nelson one, he was like 6 feet from the goal, so the goalie can't do anything there. But there used to be those ones where the guys were right on top of the crease and they're battling in there and frustrating, and goaltenders get frustrated. I can't blame them. It was pretty interesting. Boy, we're getting deep in time here already. Again,
Yeah, well,
not bad though. It's only...
That was our last question.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that
okay.
wraps up this week's episode. If you
cool.
don't have any more thoughts you'd like to add for this week.
No, just that, it's a tough week again. I mean, they're all tough, right? We've got Chicago tomorrow night. I mean, they're kind of under the playoff hunt, but they'd love to be spoilers, and they're at home. They're dangerous. I don't take this game lightly at all. And then we have.
It still matters.
Excuse me. I didn't put the schedule up, but I can't remember who we have this week. I should know better than that to not have the schedule. I'll put the new
if they're
April
good
one.
Jets fans, they'll know too.
Well, true. But yeah, we have tough go. I think we have 3 games this week, maybe even 4. So, like I say, it's all about, like I think I did say, it's not that time now where I got to say, well, we need 3 points, 6 points. We need to win every game, put the pressure on these other teams, because we're not just fighting with Nashville now. Like I said, San Jose's in there, LA's in there. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know which is better or worse, we don't play any of those teams anymore except for San Jose, the last game of the season. So we have to just take care of what we can take care of, right? And then have one eye on the ice and the other eye on the other town scoreboard.
Yep, that's for sure.
Yep. It was a good week. We're still alive, and for you out there that watch the shorts, I'll be back with you guys on Wednesday morning with an update from the Chicago game. I hope it's good news.
Yeah. Crossing our fingers.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode. We hope to see you next week, Monday at 7 p.m. for another episode. We love to chat all things hockey, so come join us. We had an awesome comment section today.
Yeah, guys, we're busy.
Love seeing you guys talking there. And go Jets, go. Go cheer them on tomorrow.
Have a good one, people.
Join Harley and Mitch again next Monday night at 7 p.m. for another episode of Winnipeg Hockey Talk. Random thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets.